welcome to BRS Bowl. Today we're in a video called Scarlet Wyvern, featuring the new Roserade from Lost Origin with the Assassin's Rose attack, doing 60 base damage plus 60 more to one of your opponent's bench if their active Pokemon is affected by a special condition. It requires 1 grass and 1 colorless, so we're using our Cherrim for the energy acceleration. We also have our Regidrago to do big damage with Dragon Energy, hitting 240 damage for 2 grass and 1 fire. We have 2 copies of this Drago, plus 1 copy of the one from Astro Radiance, helping us draw cards into our hand with the Dragon's Horde ability, while also doing a decent 160 damage with Giant Fangs for the same energy. So the main strategy of this deck is to do big damage with our Regi, and then collect a multi-price knockout with our Roserade, killing 2 VSTAR Pokemons in one hit by doing a bench Snipe. To help us use Assassin's Rose for the bonus effect, we have 2 copies of Yell Horn to confuse our opponent's active. However, this card also confuses your own Pokemon, but we can switch or evolve to remove the special condition. For the draw support, we're playing 1 Bibarel, 2 Snorlax, 1 Radiant Venusaur, 1 Regidrago, 2 Marnie, 2 Bruno, and 1 Bird Keeper. We also have 1 Energy Search and 1 Sonia to get our basic energies, 2 Training Court and 1 Clara to retrieve our Pokemon and energies. You can find a full deck list in the description of this video, so without further ado, let's go for some gameplay! Okay, let's go for our first game. We're up against a Darkness box. I'm not sure what they're playing yet. We have Regidrago and Roserade. So the new Scarlet and Violet card from Lost Origin is not actually a new generation Pokemon. It's not from Gen 9. Is it Gen 8 or Gen 9? I forgot already. But it's actually Diamond and Pearl, pretty old. But it has like the Scarlet Rose and the Violet Carnation, I guess. Okay, we're gonna do Gorman Dice on the first turn. So they're playing a Zoroark box, a Zoroark deck with Hisuian Zoroark with Gengar and Gabejaw. And here comes the Gabejaw bug on the first turn already. Super fast. So they are placing damage counter on their own Pokemon. Crobat actually has only 160 HP remaining, unless if they play Damage Pump, so they can quite easily transfer those damage counter onto other Pokemons with Damage Pump, making it a little bit more difficult for us to do the knockout, even with Roserade. But all we need is 2 strikes with Regidrago and 1 strike with Roserade to collect 4 prize by killing 2 VSTAR with 3 hits. So that's actually a big plus. If we can do Dragon Energy twice and then Assassin's Rose to collect 2 knockouts, we got 4 prize in 3 turns. The other Regidrago is only doing 160 damage though. The one from Astro Radiance, it only has 160 damage, is doing a lot less damage, but it actually has the ability that allows you to draw until you have 4 cards in your hand once during your turn. If it is in your active spot, you get to use that ability. It's not really that powerful. That's why we have Bibarel in addition to Snorlax and Radiant Venusaur, just in case we get stuck. But that Regidrago is basically giving us a little bit more consistency in terms of our draw, because we don't have that many supporter cards for this deck. So draw support wise, that Regidrago is helping a lot more. But damage wise, it's not really doing much. But at least if we get knocked out, we have our Clara to basically revive our Dragon Energy Regidrago to do 240 damage with that Pokemon. If we don't need that much damage, if they play a 1 price deck, we can play the other Regidrago instead to help us draw cards and basically attack faster after the knockout. We can immediately attack on our next turn with another Regidrago, or even do a second Assassin's to attack with our Roserade on the next turn. You know, anything. We can even attack with Body Slam to hit 100 damage, get 100 damage in the game with Snorlax. So Cherrim's ability doesn't work for Radiant Venusaur just because Radiant Venusaur has a rule box. It is a Radiant Pokemon. That means you can't actually use Pollen Hazard. You cannot use that attack that easily because we have no Raihan. We have to attach 1 energy at a time from our hand onto Venusaur every single turn, but we can't actually afford to do that though, because we need to attach a Fire or Aurora onto our Regidrago if we want to attack with Dragon Energy or Giant Fangs. So Regidrago requires that energy from your hand. That means you don't actually have the luxury. You don't have an extra energy to attach from your hand onto the Venusaur. That means Venusaur is not able to attack that easily. Cherrim can still use Spring Bloom to charge up your Snorlax freely from your hand. You cannot, however, use Cherrim's ability for Venusaur. Okay, they actually used the second attack, Shadow Cyclone for 130 damage. First time ever I've seen that. Hisuian Zoroark doing Shadow Cyclone, moving an energy onto the bench with the basic. So the VSTAR doesn't actually have that attack. The VSTAR only has the damage counter related, the damage counter reliant attack. It depends on how much damage counters you have on your Pokemon. Well, how many Pokemons that has damage counter you have in play, right? Obviously, if they play Manaphy, we don't actually have Lost City or any, canceling Cologne to deal with the Water Veil. We have no way to, deny them the bench protection. But if they don't play Manaphy in their deck, if they don't bench it fast enough, we got a few damage in the game, and Roserade is going to help us a lot. Most decks don't play Manaphy these days. I don't know why. We've played a lot of games with this deck, and I haven't seen one with Manaphy yet. I think we've played like 19 games already, and not a single game I've seen a Manaphy. I don't think I've seen one. I think Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, we actually lost that because they play a Cheryl, so if they play heal decks, we can't actually win. If they play Urshifu with Manaphy as well, we cannot win because we are not doing any damage to the bench Pokemon with Roserade. Roserade is not able to do the knockout condition on the bench. That means we need a third Regidrago to kill the second VMAX, right? Which would be the same as playing 4 Regidragos, except you need slightly less damage. You need slightly less energy for your Roserade to attack. If you play Choice Belt on your first Regidrago, you got 270 damage in the game, and that means 60 damage is enough to kill the Urshifu, the VMAX. So Cherubi now has 20 HP on the bench. The reason we're playing 2 copies of that Cherubi is because Sableye is a big thing now. If they play Sableye, that Cherubi actually has the ability that protects it from effects of attacks. Is the same as the new Lost Origin Snorlax, which actually denies Sableye from placing damage counter on that Pokemon. So damage counters doesn't work unless if they place it with abilities. Okay, we got Training Court in the game. We're gonna retrieve 1 energy right now. We're just gonna bench our Regidrago and play the Sonia to get our Grass Fire. And I think we're just gonna attack right now. We got the boss, so we should be using it. I'm just thinking whether or not we should be playing the Escape Rope. Should we be playing the Escape Rope right now or save it for later? Because we have the retreat cost, we have the retreat condition, but we would actually fare better keeping that energy so that we get to attack more easily with the Roserade on the next turn, because we don't actually have any energy in our hand. So I'm not sure whether we should be playing the Escape Rope. But we eventually decided to retreat because we have a Training Court in play. We did discard the second Training Court though, the first one, my bad. So this is our second one in play, and if they play another Gape Jaw from their hand on the next turn, we got no more Training Court, and we only have that one Clara to retrieve energies, and I don't think we're playing that many energy in this deck, so make sure you watch out for that. Watch your energies, don't waste them, don't waste your Training Court. We have only 2 Training Court to spare, 1 Clara and 10 energies, 1 Aurora, 2 basic fire, and 7 basic grass energy. Okay, we got Yell Horn for the next turn. We're gonna do Dragon Energy, Giant Fangs. Unfortunately, we did not get the second one. They actually did boss before we get to kill the second Zoroark, but we got the first knockout though. We killed the first Zoroark with our Dragon Energy, and now we got the other Regidrago in play. If they get the VSTAR this turn, we're done for. If they get the VSTAR, we just need to retrieve the other. We have to play Snorlax, obviously, but we have to think about playing another Regidrago, because 160 plus 60 is not enough to kill the VSTAR, obviously. So if we can somehow play the Roserade this turn, we can actually kill the Zoroark on the bench and force them to bench another one from, start from scratch with their Hisuian Zoroark. If we kill the one on the bench this turn though, that would be amazing, because that means they need 2 more turns just to attack with the VSTAR. Unless if they play Raihan or Melanie, to charge up the basic to do 130 damage with Shadow Cyclone. They can still kill with the second attack using the basic Pokemon for 130 damage. We didn't get to play Roserade because we have no draw support in play, as you can see. No, we only have Dragon's Horde, which is drawing cards until you have 4 cards in your hand, and we actually did only have 4 cards as well. We are not able to play them because we have too many Pokemons in this deck. That's why I eventually cut down to only 1 Bibarel. I think for this list, we only have 1 Bibarel as well, plus 1 Tropius. So Tropius is helping you protect all of your Pokemon with Grass Energy attached for Confusion. That means if you don't get the evolution or the switch, Roserade gets to you get to protect your Roserade from confusion by playing your Yell Horn from your hand, and you don't have to worry about getting your switch card or evolution at the right time, right? You can actually play Yell Horn a bit more freely, but we only are playing 2 copies of Yell Horn, so I don't think it's that worth it. I don't think Tropius actually has that much value for this deck. That's why I eventually scrapped that card. We don't even have that much bench spot for it as well. We need 2 Cherubis on the bench. We don't have enough space to bench a Tropius. Since we need a Roselia, we need a Regidrago, Radiant Venusaur, Bibarel, Cherrim. We need way too many supports. If they play Avery as well, it's gonna destroy our strategy. Avery wouldn't be that bad though, because we have Snorlax to save us on the next turn. And we do have support cards to draw as well. We have 2 Bruno, 2 Marnie, and 1 Bird Keeper, so it's not too bad. We just need to keep 1 Bibarel, 1 Cherrim, and maybe a Regidrago or Roselia on the bench, or even Radiant Venusaur. Okay, we did the confusion, but we are forced to pause a turn because we got no attack condition. So we're just gonna play Gormandize again. So I guess if you're stuck, play your Snorlax. Because we have a lot of turns, thanks to it being a full 1 price deck. We get to play Gormandize over and over until we get the attack condition, until we are able to play Clara or Sonia to get our energies, Training Court, Regidrago for Dragon Energy, or even Assassin's Rose with Yell Horn. So they got Powerful Energy and Psychic, basic Psychic Energy. I'm not sure why they have so many loose energies. They should be playing more Double Turbo. If they are playing Powerful with Basic, they should be doing Raihan, right? But we haven't seen a Raihan yet, because we knocked out 2 of their Pokemons already. We killed a basic Zoroark V and a Crobat V, and they have not yet played, it's too late now. They can't play the Raihan anymore, because the next knockout is going to be the end for them. So we just need to kill a VSTAR and that's it. We don't have the knockout condition on the next turn, but we can. They didn't attack, so no Double Turbo. They're not able to attack. So we're just gonna attack with Poison Whip. We're gonna poison the active. So if they don't kill the Roserade, well, they're gonna have to kill the Roserade, right? If they play Avery, I think we're still good because we have 2 Cherrims on the bench. If they kill the Roserade, we just need to play Clara on the next turn, and then, you know, Regidrago for the win. But I think if they're smart, if they really are smart, they should be using Gengar to attack, because Gengar can actually do... Oh, it's not enough though. Gengar is not doing enough damage. It's only doing placing 2 damage counter on your opponent's active for each bench Pokemon they have in play. That means they are only doing 100 damage. 10 damage counter is not enough to kill... Sorry, is it 10 damage counter? Yep, 10 damage counter, 100 damage, right? 10 damage counter is not enough to kill Roserade, because it has 120 HP. It's not a level ball card. I'm a bit frustrated for it being that, but sometimes it, you know, the higher HP is actually better sometimes, because Gengar can kill off level ball cards. So sometimes it's better just to have higher HP. And we played a Clara and they conceded. So that's the end, because we got Regidrago. We just need to switch, and we got it in our hand as well. We got the switch. So we have 4 switch cards in this deck. 1 Scoop on that, 1 switch, 1 Escape Rope, and 1 Bird Keeper. And that's actually enough for any 1 price deck. You need at least 4, honestly, just to make it a lot, very, very consistent. 4 is the ideal number of switch cards that you need to have for any deck to be honest, for even for your VSTAR VMAX decks. But if you are playing Starbirth or Shady Dealings, you shouldn't play that many in your deck because you have the free search. If you play Irida as well, I don't think you need that many. 3 would be enough, more than enough, I think. If you play only 2 though, it's a bit risky because if they play Duran, you're gonna run out of your switch cards and then you're gonna be stuck, right? You need a lot more Stadium cards if you play against Duran as well. So we're playing only 2 Stadium, which is not bad, actually. It's still not bad. So right now we're up against a Shadow Rider Deoxys V-Star deck. They got Deoxys V-Star and VMAX, I guess. I'm not too sure. But they have the old Lunala, the Lunala box, which is looking really cool. Okay, Shadow Rider with Deoxys. And they have Mew as well for the draw support. For item search. We got our Cherubi and Bibarel on the first turn. Bidoof, my bad. Snorlax in the active. So if you get, for the first turn, if you get Regidrago and something else in your hand, it's better to bench something else. Unless that something else is a Bidoof, because Bidoof has 2 energy retreat. Because all other Pokemon in this deck, except for Snorlax, Regidrago, except for Snorlax, Regidrago, and Bidoof, has only 1 energy retreat. All other basics. So if you retreat with 1 energy, you can use your Gormandize on your first turn. That's why I say it's better to bench. It's better to put a Pokemon in the active as your first active that has only 1 energy retreat. Okay, here comes Regidrago. Are we able to attack though? I don't think we can. We don't have enough energies. If we play the Bruno, we may get our Scope Up Net, Escape Rope, or Switch. If we can play Escape Rope right now, we got like a V knockout. Because 240 can actually kill the basic V. So let's hope we get something. Are we gonna play the Quick Ball? I think we can discard the Roselia. I don't think we need the Roselia. Oh my goodness, we discarded... Oh, we discarded the Training Court because they are playing the Training Court. Our opponent is playing a Training Court as well. So we chose to discard the Training Court for another Cherubi. And Industrious Incisor. We haven't played our supporter card yet. So we got no energy, unfortunately. Are we gonna play the Bruno? We're gonna attach the Choice Belt on the Roserade. Because it doesn't really matter what you attach to. If we attach to Roserade, we're actually baiting them to kill off the weaker card. Because the Roserade is a little bit weaker than Regidrago. If they kill Roserade, you can do more hits. You can attack more times with your Regidrago. Which is much better than attacking twice with Assassin's Rose. Because Assassin's Rose is not doing enough damage for a knockout. Even with 2 hits. If you can't hit twice with your Roserade, it's not doing as much as Regidrago hitting twice. 270 damage is not enough to kill V-Star anyways. So I don't think we need the Choice Belt on the Regidrago. Unless if they play Deoxys V-Star though. I'm not sure about the HP for Deoxys V-Star. It may actually have 270 or less. So maybe we should have attached the Choice Belt on the Regidrago. I'm not too sure. So we actually killed off the first Shadow with Escape Rope. Look at that. And now they got no draw support but Mew. Because they can't evolve the VMAX. They should have just sacrificed the Deoxys, but they just invested 1 energy on the last turn, I think. That's the reason, probably, for the Shadow Rider being in the active. But now they have no Shadow VMAX, they have no Underworld Door for the draw support, and they are forced to use Psychic. And if they use Psychic though, we cannot do any damage with our Dragon Energy, because Dragon Energy is doing 20 less damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. That means if you have 12 damage counter, you are doing 240 less damage. And since it's doing 240, we are doing 0 damage. So we chose to play our Yell Horn and then evolve the Cherrim Bibarel to possibly draw enough energy for Roserade to attack. We got Tropius for this list. As you can see, Tropius is helping us guard our Roserade from confusion. If we play Tropius right now, we can actually recover Regidrago from confusion, but we are not doing any damage with it anyways. So might as well just scoop up the Regidrago instead of the Snorlax to bench the Tropius. It would make no sense to recover from the confusion if we are not doing any damage anyways. So let's just scoop up the Regidrago right now. We got no damage this turn. We can't attack, so let's just do a Gormandize and see what happens. There we go. We're gonna rebench the Regidrago and attach that fire back with our training court, with their training court actually. Okay, we're gonna get the fire. Come on, what else are we gonna get? Fire. We only have 7 basic grass though, so we may have to dig a bit further to get those other energies out. But we do have Sonia and 1 energy search to get those energies into our hand. So it's not too bad. And other supporter cards as well. Bruno, Marnie, Bird Keeper. Sometimes you're forced to play Bird Keeper and they just conceded because they got stuck. No draw support, no Bibarel, no Shadow Rider, nothing. I guess they got no supporter cards either. Okay, here comes Tasty Bagel. Tasty Bagels. GLES, not GEL. Fun name, isn't it? Weird spelling, but fun name. Tasty Bagel. I'm not sure what they're playing, but they got a Mewtwo Mew deck box way back from the GX, I think, the tag team one. Mewtwo and Mew tag team VMAX. Sorry, GX. Okay, here comes a Mew VMAX deck. I don't think we can win that easily if they play Oricorio, because Oricorio is reducing damage done by Roserade. Roserade is doing only 40 damage to both the active and the bench. Even without Manaphy, we're doing less damage is actually a really bad thing, because that means we need 2 Roserades and another 2 Regidrago just to kill both the VMAXs. So might as well just play 4 Regidrago, right? If we are playing 2 Regidrago and 2 Roserade, it doesn't really make much sense, and we only are playing 2 copies of Roserade for this list. 2 Regidrago with Dragon Energy, so if we don't play the one with Dragon Energy, we're done for. If we play the one with the Giant Fangs, we need to attack twice with that Pokemon before we can collect the knockout with Assassin's Rose. Only have 1 Clara, so beware. Beware of using that card at the wrong time. Fusion Strike Energy. So if we are playing abilities to poison them, then Roserade cannot actually attack with Assassin's Rose. So this is the plus side of this deck. We are not using abilities to poison or confuse or even burn their active Pokemon. We're not using abilities to, affect the Mew VMAX with special conditions or any of their Pokemon with Fusion Strike Energy attached. That means even with that energy, they cannot protect from the confusion because we are playing item card for the condition instead. Yell Horn is still able to affect the Mew even with the energy. And then after that, we get to not only confuse them but also Assassin Rose for extra bench Snipe. We didn't get our fire energy, but that's fine. We're just gonna dig for it later. No Incense or Ultra Ball either, because we're only playing 1 copy of Bibarel. So I think the golden rule for this deck is just to play Snorlax until you get whatever you need. Because we have a lot of turns, as I keep saying. If they have already drawn their second prize though, you need to watch out. You need to do something already. If they have 6 prizes remaining, I think you can chill out a little bit. You got a few turns. So by the time they reach 4 prize, you have to do something. You have to prepare an attack, a big attack on the next turn, or you have to get some damage in the game. Something. Training Court. Okay, everyone's playing Training Court. They're helping us a lot. We got 2 Cherubis on the bench. So this game was actually the weird one where they... I'm not going to give any spoilers, but you'll see it later. I'm not going to give any spoilers. Double Turbo is not helping, is not helping us because 20 less is not enough for them to, for us to prevent the knockout. So they can kill anything with the Mew VMAX because they got double VMAX in play, and also they got like, they can play Max Miracle as well. They can use Cross Fusion Strike for Max Miracle just because the bench actually has the bench Mew, is a Fusion Strike Pokemon. But if they are doing Cross Fusion Strike though, it's only doing 110 damage because they have a double turbo, so they can't actually kill the Snorlax if they don't do Techno Blast. Free retreat means you get to attack with your second Mew on the next turn, and then keep on doing the retreat. That's why they're playing stadium cards, I suppose. Not only just to prevent the ability lock against Genesect. If they play Path to the Peak, they can't use Genesect to draw cards, but also to deny their opponent from playing Galar Mine for the retreat trap, because they need to retreat if they want to attack with a second Pokemon. Techno Blast, you can't attack on your next turn if you use Techno Blast. Max Miracle, which is exactly enough to kill off the Regidrago. They did a boss. Mew VMAX, infamous for playing bosses early, because I'm pretty sure they're playing 4 copies, or even 3 with Cross Switcher. Okay, we're gonna play the Bibarel. I think it's a bit bold to play Bibarel, but we don't really have a choice because, well, we do. If we play the Incense for Cherrim, we can actually do Dragon Energy, but it's not enough to kill the Mew VMAX, obviously, and we got nothing on the next turn. So I think it's better to play Bibarel. We would get at least a Level Ball into our hand right now, or even Ultra Ball for the Cherrim. Or a supporter card. There we go, we got a supporter card. We're going to play Choice Belt on the Regidrago because we're confident that we would get something. And oh my goodness, we actually couldn't attach the grass, so we need a grass and a Level Ball. And there we go, we got both. We couldn't attach the grass because we don't have a Cherrim in play yet. That means we're going to have to dig out not only the Cherrim, but also a grass energy. So Training Court is helping us satisfy the attack cost this turn. That means we got enough to do Dragon Energy. Only doing 250 damage though, because they got Oricorio already. Oricorio is saving them a lot of turns. So they have 4 prize remaining, and we are doing our first hit. It's not too bad. I think we can pick back up if we have a second Choice Belt. But we don't actually have a second Choice Belt for this deck. We don't have the space for it. So no second Choice Belt means we can't actually win that easily, because Roserade is not able to kill the Mew VMAX on the next hit. Right? Without the Choice Belt, Roserade is only doing 40 damage, and it's not enough. All thanks to the bloody Oricorio. Against a VMAX is a bit more difficult. I think we may need the second Choice Belt for this deck. I'm not too sure. I don't know what to replace though, because it's already super consistent. I don't want to mess up with the consistency of this deck, because the flow, the draw support, like the flow of attack and getting the cards that you need from the deck is actually perfect. I don't want to mess it up. I want to make sure that you can do something every turn, and if you can't, you have your Snorlax to rely on, to fall back on at least, and you can draw a sufficient amount of cards to get you going, rather than getting stuck every single turn. We don't want to get stuck even for a single turn, right? Snorlax in the active is not stuck, right? If you get a Snorlax in the active, you're basically preparing for the next turn. That means you're still doing something at least. Okay, they got free retreat, so that Yell Horn is not doing anything this turn. We chose to play it this turn because we were expecting to get oh, I think we did it. Okay. We did Assassin's Rose this turn with the Yell Horn. But it's not enough to kill the active, unfortunately. We need a second Roserade to kill off the Mew on the bench because they're probably going to retreat on the next turn. And then we need 2 more Regidrago to kill, you know, the one currently on the bench. We're just going to attach the Aurora and then save our Quick Balls and Level Ball for the next turn, Ultra Ball. We're going to save those balls for the next... If they play Marnie, we would get something anyways. I'm pretty sure we would get our Pokemons out. We need our Regidrago. Gardenia's Roserade. We have 2 copies of the full art for the alternate art. Is it the alternate art or full art? I'm pretty sure it's the full art because it's a 1 prize. I don't think it has an alternate art. A character rare, right? I think it's a character rare. There we go. They didn't escape. I don't think it's necessary. Is it necessary? I think they're trying to brag that they can do a boss this turn. Like, they're trying to say, you know what? Let's do an escape rope boss. Let's just show off the boss and attack with the same Mew. Oh my goodness. Okay, they just targeted the Cherrim. Oh, I think I know what they're trying to do. So this is the turn where they tried to kill the Cherubi with Glistening Droplets. They're trying to play Glistening Droplets and then knock out the Cherrim on the next turn to basically leave us with no, you know, energy acceleration. If we have no Spring Bloom, we cannot use Regidrago. So they're trying to deny us from Cherrim's ability. They did Glistening Droplets, but they did not realize that Cherubi has that ability that prevents all effects of attacks. That means they can't actually place damage counters. Damage counters doesn't work on Cherubi. There we go. Only 40 HP, but no damage counters. So they didn't draw a single prize on the last turn when they could have. That was the biggest mistake, because now we got an extra turn, a whole nother turn to collect the knockout on the second VMAX. So we just need Assassin's Rose and then 2 Regidrago and we got the win. We need 3 turns, they need 3 turns, and we strike first. So we won. Now we just need to get our flow going. We just need to play the right cards and make sure we can attack with 2 Regidragos with that Clara. We need to dig for that Clara as well and do the switch retreat. We got the Clara. We should be attaching the fire on the active, but I'm pretty sure we have switch cards in the deck still, or even a supporter to dig out more grass energy. If we can get 2 grass, we can retreat with Cherrim already. So I don't think we should be attaching the fire to the Cherrim. Okay, we got Cynthia, Bruno, Quick Ball, Ultra Ball. We should be playing the Quick Ball and the Bruno to draw more cards. So eventually I decided to swap the Cynthia for Bruno because Bruno is way better than Cynthia. I don't know why, I just prefer Bruno. Because if you have other cards in your hand that you cannot discard or you can't play, might as well just play a Bruno, right? If you have another supporter card in your hand, for example, you're only drawing 7 cards, which is basically the same thing as shuffling your hand and then drawing 7 cards. It's only 1 extra anyways, and sometimes you have VIPs in your hand that you can't discard, so Cynthia may actually draw you a lot less than your Bruno, because if you have, like, for example, 2 supporters in your hand, you're only drawing 6 cards, as you can see right now. I would rather shuffle and draw 7. Because it's not that likely that you would get... Oh my goodness, we couldn't draw 7. We didn't realize that they didn't do a knockout on the last turn. We forgot. We forgot that they didn't do a knockout on the last turn. Oh my goodness. That was pretty close though. That was so close. We got the 2 energies. They didn't do the knockout on last turn. That means we can't play Bruno's extra bonus effect. And we're only drawing 4 cards. That's ridiculous. And we got no confusion. That means we're not able to hit the bench. But at least we killed off the first VMAX. So now we just need to play double Regidrago for the win. I think we still have our boss inside the deck somewhere. There we go. We got the boss in the deck. Or maybe it could be prize, you never know. We just need to kill the VMAX and that's it. If they play Meloetta to attack, it would be quite terrible. I don't think they have enough energy for Meloetta. They just play Elisa for Genesect, so they may just attack with Genesect and force us to kill for only 2 prize with Regidrago, and then attack with Mew VMAX later on. If they do that, we got our boss to kill the Meloetta. So whatever they do, I think they're done. We just need to play the boss to kill both the Meloetta and the Genesect, or hit twice for a Mew VMAX knockout. So attack the Mew VMAX twice to draw 3 prize, or kill the Genesect and the Meloetta. And they just conceded though, so right now we're up against a Firebox. I'm waiting for our opponent. Sorry about this. So they got a Fire Charizard coin. The new Charizard VSTAR is actually out. There's the new promo VSTAR. If you guys are interested, go check it out. Charizard VSTAR with the cool character rare card. I'm not sure what character is on the background. I think Leon. Probably Leon, I think. But it looks a bit like a comic. It looks like, you know, drawn in a comic sort of style, which is very, very interesting because I quite like the art. And they even have the promo Charizard VMAX and the Charizard V as well, so it's pretty cool. Charizard is overrated though. Like, I don't know why, but if you play Charizards in your deck, you keep getting the best luck. If you play a VSTAR, the Charizard VSTAR, like, I don't know why, but your opponent is gonna get a shit hand throughout the whole game. I have no idea why Charizard is... I just hate it. It makes no sense. Just because you're playing a Charizard doesn't mean you're entitled to wins. Like, entitled to a 1,000,000 win streak. Come on. Come on. Okay, we are actually up against a 1 prize Charizard right now. So 1 prize is not that terrible. It's not that broken as the VSTAR. Because VSTAR is one of the newest cards. Brilliant Stars, my bad. Brilliant Stars is quite old, but it's still pretty new compared to your Vivid Voltage Charizard. And new cards often has a better winning rate. They always like to give new cards, you know, better odds. If you're playing with those cards, you would get your support cards more easily. You would get the things that you need faster. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. That's how the game works. If you buy new cards, they're gonna give you more wins. Roserade is a new card though, so use this deck and you're gonna get a lot of wins. We even have the new Regidrago from Astro Radiance. Not too new, not too old either. So Astro Radiance is actually 1 set before. 2 sets, because we have Pokemon Go, Astro Radiance Go, and Lost Origin. And then after that we got Silver Tempest. I can't wait for that. Silver Tempest with Lugia VSTAR, Regidrago VSTAR, Mawile VSTAR, and Regieleki VMAX. That's so cool. Mawile. Like, people underestimate Mawile VSTAR, but I would really love to build a deck from that. It's not really that powerful, but it has a cool cross-switcher sort of ability. Which actually helps you do a boss effect and also switch your Pokemon at the same time. Anyways, now they have an Altaria on the bench, a Swablu, my bad, and 2 Charmanders in play. They're gonna bench more Charmanders right now. Snorlax in the active is like the best feeling ever. So that's why we have 2 copies right now. Because we are only playing, I think the max copy we have for every Pokemon is only 2. Except for Regidrago and Cherubi. The basics, I mean. So 3 Cherubi just for security, just in case they kill the first one easily. I would recommend playing 2 Cherubi with 2 Cherrim and 1 Rescue Carrier though, because that actually helps you a lot. But just because now that Lost City is out, I would prefer to have more Cherubis. Because if they boss the Cherubi and knock it out, lost it, we got another 2 Cherubis. We don't need to play Rescue Carrier because it's not going to do anything if they lost our Pokemon. And a third Cherrim would actually make this deck a bit more secure, because you may have like one or two. If you got two of your Cherrim prize, I'm sorry, you can't win the game at all. We have no Peonia to get the Cherrim out. So if both Cherrim get prized, if you get that unlucky in a game, you cannot, like, you can't do anything. We have no Raihan, we have no way to charge up Regidrago for the attack. You may be able to collect the first two prizes with your Roserade, if you're lucky. If they play like Comfies, or I don't think they're probably gonna scoop up their Comfy though. If they leave the Comfy for too long, you may be able to play Assassin's Rose to knock it out for the first prize, and that may actually get you your first Cherrim. But if you don't get the Cherrim out, even then you're screwed. So I would prefer playing 3 copies, but 2 is not too bad though. If you play 2, normally you would get it inside the deck. Like 10 games out of 9 games out of 10, you would get it inside your deck, so I don't think it's too bad. If you play 2 evolutions in a deck, you would get it quite easily. 9 games out of 10, I assure you. I think I've played like 10 plus games, about 15 games, and only one of the games that I played, I got both Cherrims prized, and I immediately conceded because like there's just no point playing that game. Like, come on. How are we gonna attack? We can't do anything. I think we got paired against Regigigas as well. A really broken one prize deck, and there's really no chance we're winning a Regigigas without a Cherrim. Like, come on. Okay, we confused the active and did our Assassin's Rose on the last turn, and now we're gonna collect the knockout on both the active and the Altaria. I'm quite surprised that they got no energies to retreat, because if they retreat, that means we can't actually do a bench snipe, and we don't have a second Yell Horn in our hand right now. We actually got it from the prize, I think. So that means we wouldn't be able to kill the Charmander and the Altaria. Even if we got the second Yell Horn, we would be able to only kill one or the other. We can't draw 2 prize. So we got pretty lucky for this game, but oh well. Charizard is pretty broken anyways. Let's go for the next one. I think this one is a single strike Urshifu. Urshifu with Umbreon. Urshifu alone is not too good, but with Umbreon VMAX, it's gonna make it a lot stronger, because you got your boss effect. Dark Signal with the 160 damage is not bad as well. If you play single strike energy, you can do a lot more damage. So it's not single strike Urshifu, my bad. It's something else apparently. But there is a single strike Urshifu matchup for one of the games in this video. I think the next one, you'll see. They got Bibarel. I have no idea what they're playing actually. I totally forgot. Is it a VSTAR? Is it a VMAX? Is it a one prize? Okay, there we go. We actually did make the mistake for this game. As you can see, we benched something else. If we put a Cherubi in the active or a Roselia, we can retreat to the Snorlax after doing the VIP, and that means we got Gormandize on the first turn. That's why I say always put Cherubi or Roselia as your first active Pokemon. If you got no Snorlax, if you have your Quick Ball, VIP Pass in your hand, Ultra Ball even, and no Snorlax to put as your first active Pokemon, then put something that you can retreat. Because on your first turn already, you can play Gormandize. That's how consistent this deck is. Okay, they actually are playing Umbreon with Urshifu, but they do have a Bibarel for the draw sport. I think they're only playing one copy of the Bibarel though, because we managed to knock it out early, and they got no, they didn't bench the second Bidoof. What are they gonna capture? Probably an Urshifu or another Umbreon. Okay, Urshifu. So we just need to kill both the VMAXs. They may choose not to evolve though, knowing we're playing a full one prize. We got our Cherrim early in the game and even a Marnie, so I don't think we should be too worried. We can't play our Snorlax on the first turn, but we did get our supporter cards. Let's hope we get an Energy Surge and a Grass, or a Fire and an Energy Surge. Oh, we didn't get enough. Oh well. Oh, we got Bruno. That means we can play Tower of Darkness. They gave us the tower, and we actually got the Grass. Look at that. Thanks to the Tower of Darkness, we got enough to kill off the Bidoof. Pretty sure this is our second turn, and already we got our first kill. Bulbasaur. We got a Bulbasaur deck sleeve. They should be coming out with more deck sleeves though. Like in the shop, in the online shop, there isn't any deck sleeves, but the old one, Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle, and the Avatar as well. Like there's nothing much in the store. I think you have to buy from some other shop, like some codes from some online store, not from the software, not from the online platform, not from, you know, the PTCGO itself. You actually have to go outside of it. So anyways, here comes Umbreon doing mean look for 50 damage. That means we're doing 100 less damage with Dragon Energy. We're only doing 140, but if we play Choice Belt, we may be able to pressure them into the knockout. Because Assassin's Rose is doing twice as much damage against Umbreon. We're doing 120 with Assassin's Rose if Umbreon is in the active, obviously. Because it is a dark type. It's not a poison type, it's a dark type. I didn't realize that Gengar is a poison type. I thought it's a darkness and, you know, a dark ghost type. When it first got released, I thought it was a dark ghost type, and then when I thought about it, you know what? I remember Ghastly being a poison type. And then it actually makes sense. Okay, we can't attack this turn, so we're just gonna do the Snorlax. We were kind of expecting to get a Grass Energy or a supporter card or something so that we can attack with the Roserade, but we got a bit too hopeful because we got no Bibarel on the bench, we got no draw support, and we just gambled on putting the Roselia in the active. That means we are forced to discard one fire for the retreat cost when we didn't have to. We're just gonna discard our boss and Manaphy. I don't think we need those because they're not playing Manaphy on their bench. We don't need a boss. We have no Paw Pad for this list because we need a lot of other cards to make, you know, to search for our Pokemons, to search for the evolution. We're playing 3 different evolutions for this deck: Bibarel, Cherrim, and Roserade, and a lot of other draw supports, a lot of other basic Pokemons as well. So we can't actually fit in that many supporters or trainers, let alone the Paw Pad. Paw Pad would make a lot of sense if you're playing a Bibarel deck. If you have the Bibarel engine with Paw Pad, it's going to help you recycle either your Clara or your boss if you get them at the wrong time. You can actually play Research as well to help you discard and draw a big hand on the next turn, and then play a Rod to shuffle back the Pokemons that you discarded by accident so that you get to recover the loss, and also at the same time help you do a lot with your Research. So Bibarel, Research, and Paw Pad Rod is kind of the perfect combo, but just because we need a lot of other cards to make this deck work, to make the Regidrago Roserade combo work well together, to make the combo, you know, manageable, we actually have to fit in enough cards to, you know, support the strategy. And that means we don't have the space for Paw Pad. You can actually renovate, you know, think about improving the deck list yourself. But I think right now the deck list is doing pretty good. It's getting like, you know, about 60 or 70% of win rate. So it's not too bad. If they don't play, you know, obviously if they play a Manaphy, it's going to be much less. But we do have our Regidrago to fall back on. We have Clara, Regidrago to basically keep on attacking until they die. But if you do Roserade on 2 VSTARs, 1 on the bench, 1 in the active, if you can kill like for 4 prize with a Roserade, that would be the best feeling ever. And you actually have the chance of doing that. It has the potential this deck actually do have the potential of pulling that off. Okay, we have our Training Court and, you know, Cynthia, Clara. I think we can quite easily pull it off. We're gonna play Cynthia to get... we should be playing the other item though, because we want to be digging for our Yell Horn, but we did actually get it. There we go. We actually did Tropius for this game. We played Tropius with Yell Horn, and we get to play our Assassin's Rose for a bench Snipe this turn. Okay, we're gonna hit the Urshifu. I don't think we should be hitting anything else. It would have been smarter for us to kill one of the Houndowers though. If we kill the Houndour, we're pressuring them into evolving. And, well, they actually can't evolve though, right? Because if they evolve, we just need another VMAX knockout to win the game. We should have drawn 3 prize this turn. I didn't realize that we could kill the Houndour. So that was the big mistake, I guess. But if we can kill the VMAX, then we just need another knockout. I forgot that Umbreon hasn't evolved yet. That means you're only drawing 2 prize. Oh, but we actually killed... We killed something. We killed the Bidoof. That means we only need 3 more prizes. Oh, I didn't realize that. We need 3 more prizes. Yeah, if we kill the Houndour on the last turn, we would be forcing them to evolve. Because, you know, if we kill a VMAX or if we kill a basic, it would be the same thing. Okay, here comes the VMAX. I think the reason they evolve is because they know we can knock it out. And if we do a boss, we can kill the Houndour and they're done, right? Or even escape rope. So we just need 2 hits with Regidrago to win the game if they don't evolve. If they evolve right now, at least they are avoiding the knockout. They're avoiding... You know, they're preventing us from drawing any prizes this turn at least. And that could actually help them survive a bit longer. Okay. We do have our Bibarel inside the deck, but we did not get it until, like, it's already too late now. We have 17 cards left in the deck. We're just emptying our hands so we can draw cards with Venusaur. So Tropius, that's the reason I did not play Tropius anymore. As you can see, Tropius is eating up the bench spot. That could have been a spot for Bidoof. That could have been a Bibarel right there. And we would be able to draw cards a lot faster. We would be able to do things a lot better without the Tropius. If we don't have the Tropius, we would be able to do the switch anyways on the Roserade. So obviously, don't evolve that fast if you can... Unless your opponent plays, if you want to avoid a Marnie, you kind of have to evolve fast. But we do have 4 switch cards, 1 escape rope, 1 switch, 1 scoop on that, and 1 Bird Keeper to basically remove the special condition. So obviously play Yell Horn by putting a new Pokemon in the active. If you have Roserade on the bench already, if your opponent did a knockout on your last turn, you can put like a Cherrim on the active and then play escape rope, play a Bird Keeper or a scoop on that to retreat onto your Roserade after doing your Yell Horn. So Yell Horn first, and then switch to your Roserade to attack with Assassin's Rose. That means you get to recover from the special condition. You're not confused. You don't have to flip the coin. Okay, I think we're gonna do 120 damage this turn. We don't have the Yell Horn. And I don't think we can draw any cards with an Ultra Ball. Are we gonna play the Choice Belt? We're doing 180 damage. I think if we did the Choice Belt, we would actually won already. Oh. Oh, my bad. Oh, right. We have 3 prize remaining, and they only have, like, they have a V in the active. My bad. Okay, we're gonna do Dragon Energy for the knockout, and then on the next turn, we just need to Assassin's Rose to kill the Urshifu. To kill anything, really. If they don't retreat, we just need to Rose. Well, we have 3 prize remaining. I keep forgetting that. So that means we do need to kill the Urshifu. If we don't kill the VMAX, we can't win the game that easily. Knocking out the VMAX is going to help us win by drawing the final 3 prize. So they conceded because they know we have the Roserade. If they did a boss though, we can't snipe the bench. But we do have our Regidrago to attack more times and Clara to attack with another Drago to collect the final 1 prize. So I don't think it's that difficult. If they do a boss and Umbreon for the knockout, I think we still have the winning condition. Okay, right now we are up against a dragon coin guy. We have a dragon coin and an electric box. They are playing Stormy Mountain with Raichu. Raichu V is doing a lot of damage. 60x for each lightning you discard from all of your Pokemon, any of your Pokemon. And they're doing a knockout against Gudra VSTAR. They're doing a knockout against anything off the board as long as they have enough energies in the game. So Stormy Mountain is helping us a lot because they actually, are giving us a free Regidrago summon. We can bench our Regidrago for free, but nothing else. And that's actually doing a lot, honestly. Because we have only 3 VIP, but we do have 4 Level Ball and 4 Quick Ball for the basic summon and even 2 Ultra Balls. So that should actually help you bench. It should help you bench your Cherubi and at least a Snorlax and a Bidoof. Cherubi, Snorlax, Bidoof, Roselia. If you can get a Cherubi and Snorlax, that would actually be enough. But it would be better to get a Bidoof at the same time, and then Regidrago can show up later in the game because it's a basic. You can attach energy on the next turn, you can attack with the switch, and then you got your 240 damage in the game. There we go, Stormy Mountain. We're gonna Level Ball for our Cherubi. Okay. We got enough energies, but are we gonna play the Marnie right now? Are we gonna retreat? Or are we gonna attach the energy on the Drago? Okay, we chose to attach the energy on the retreat. On the Drago. We should be attaching to the Roselia and expect to play Gormandize, but we actually got a switch. Look at that. We got pretty lucky. We got the switch and a second Cherubi as well. So that's gonna help us, deny them from the boss stall because they can actually, slow us down a lot by playing a boss to knock out the Cherubi. If we have no Cherrim on the next turn, we can't attack with Dragon Energy. We can't attack with anything without Spring Bloom. We need Spring Bloom, like mad. So we didn't get enough energy. We're playing too many Pokemons. That's why we eventually decided to, you know what? Let's cut down on the Pokemon cards. Play only 1 Bibarel and no Tropius. We don't need the Tropius, honestly. Like, get that out of the way. It's unnecessary because we only are playing 2 Yell Horns. If we have a lot more Yell Horns, then Tropius would make a lot of sense. But since we're playing so few copies of that card, I don't think we need it that much since we have the evolution and the switch to remove our confusion. If we evolve at the last minute, we can remove confusion without doing the switch. If we have the switch card, we can put something else as the active and then switch into the Roserade for Assassin's Rose to snipe the bench. So here comes Raichu doing the first knockout, and we're just gonna play Snorlax because we know we can't actually attack this turn. They did a boss, I think, to kill our first Regidrago. So we're going to evolve both the Cherrim this turn and draw as much cards as we can with our Snorlax. We're just going to play the boss because I don't think we need it. And draw a little bit more cards to get us going with the Snorlax. So we got the Scoop of Net and the Sonia. That's basically what we were looking for. And the Bibarel as well to, you know, help us for the next turn after our first Regidrago hit. If they attack with the Raichu, we got Dragon Energy to collect the knockout. We got 2 prize after that. If they do another boss, I would be quite mad though. There we go, no boss. I don't think they have enough energies. So they actually did fast charge. Even if they have a boss, they couldn't do the knockout. Okay, we're gonna do the Scoop on that. We can't play the Bird Keeper because we need to play the Sonia. We need to play Sonia for the energy. Because we're not playing that many copies. We shouldn't be getting... I don't think we would be getting any energy with the triple draw from Bird Keeper. So we have the Scoop on that. We should be playing that. Why are we taking so long? I don't know why. Sonia has a really cool art. I quite like the art on Sonia. There isn't any card like Sonia, is there? Except for maybe Fog Crystal and Netball. Fog Crystal, Netball is item cards though. They are item that allows you to search for either a basic or basic Pokemon or energy, but it's type specific. Since it's an item, you only get to search for, you know, a type specific one. Sonia is quite limiting as well because you only get to search for 2 Pokemon, 2 basic Pokemon or 2 basic energy. It doesn't allow you to mix it around. You can't actually search for 2 in any combination of Pokemon and energy. Well, basic Pokemon and energy. So there's not a lot of freedom in terms of basic searches, which is a bit depressing. But since you're searching for 2 copies, I suppose that's the reason for the ruling. I guess it's fair in a sense. So always empty out your hand by playing your item cards. I think that was one of the games where we actually kept the level ball in our hand when we didn't need to. I don't think we need to keep the level ball because we have you know, only maybe 10 cards left in the deck, and I don't think we would need that much search anymore. If we draw out the Roselia, I think we can bench it quite easily on the next turn. If we don't, we just need to play Ultra Ball or like a supporter card if we have it still in the deck to bench it on the next turn. Okay, they conceded because they got no Flaffy, I guess. I don't know what happened there. We got our first knockout on the Raichu and they just decided to concede. Okay, right now we're up against I'm not sure really. I think it's a 1 prize deck. They have a Psychic Box and a Mewtwo coin. We got Roselia in the active and VIP Quick Ball, Ultra Ball with Marnie. A really good hand. A pretty decent hand. But I think if you get a VIP, it's a really, really good start. All you need is a VIP really. Because that means Cherubi and Snorlax is guaranteed in the game. And we even get to search for a Bidoof as well. A Bidoof or even Radiant Venusaur. So whatever that got prize, we have our Heavy Ball to get it out as well. But we're only playing 1 copy of Heavy Ball. That's why we have so many contingencies. We have 2 Snorlax, 1 Radiant Venusaur, 1 Regidrago, and 1 Bidoof, Bibarel. Okay, they have Cursula. They're playing a full-on Cursula box. 1 prize Cursula with the V to place crazy damage counters with the ability and also the attack. I think they have the Fusion Strike Cursula and also the one from Rebel Clash to basically knock us out. So Rebel Clash with the Fusion Strike works really well together because if you play the Rebel Clash one, you can actually flip the coin to knock out your opponent's Pokemon. If your Cursula gets knocked out, your opponent has to flip a coin, and if they flip a Tails, they actually have to... I think it works that way. I'm pretty sure it works that way. If they flip a Tails, I'm not sure who has to flip the coin, and I'm not sure what happened, like whether it's a heads or a tails it needs to be. But if your opponent has to flip the coin, if they flip a Tails, that means they have to knock out their own Pokemon immediately after killing your Cursor. So both active Pokemon gets knocked out thanks to the ability, but it is a coin flip though, which is quite risky. If you knock out your opponent's Pokemon V with the ability, you can actually use the Fusion Strike Cursor on the next turn to put it back onto their bench and reduce his HP until he has 30 HP remaining, put damage counters on their Pokemon until it has 30 HP. So that's the power of the Cursor combo. I think people have already done it though. Little Dark Fury already built this deck, so it's not too bad, but it is a coin flip card, so I'm not too psyched about it. Coin flips, like, come on. Okay, we got our Cherrim, and we actually got a confusion from the very start. We got to play our Yell Horn and Assassin's Rose, and we didn't need to get Tropius out. I don't think we have Tropius for this game as well. So we just need to evolve to remove the special condition, and we got 120 damage in the game, fast, on double one price cards. 2 1 price, like both the 1 prizes in play. That means all we need is 2 more strikes of Roserade to kill it off on the bench. Okay, I think Cursor is working really well against V decks, but now that we have Path to the Peak, I don't think the Cursor V is that viable anymore, because Path to the Peak is basically shutting down Gnawing Aura. When your opponent attaches energy from their hand, they don't get punished, because if you play O Cemetery with your Cursor as well, all they need to do is play Path, and that means they are not placing any damage counter for each energy they attach to their Pokemon. Frostmoth, swim freely, can attach as many energies as they like and not get punished for a single damage counter. They don't have to get they don't get screwed. Okay, we got Bruno for the next turn. We have Bibarel and Radiant Venusaur for this game, which is a bit unusual because normally we have Snorlax, but for this game we managed to survive without Snorlax because we actually pulled off an early Assassin's Rose with Roserade, doing bench snipe fast and easy. I think it would help us a lot if we do Poison Whip this turn, because that means we're forcing them to do the retreat and switch. If they don't switch retreat, they can't recover this. If they don't recover the special condition, we got our Power Whip, we got our Assassin's Rose to target the bench on the next turn. That means we got extra damage on the next turn. So Poison Whip is helping us do a lot more damage later, and it's really a good investment because they are not killing the Roserade. Cursor is not doing enough to knock out the Roserade unless if they have Crushing Hammer or Team Yell Grunt. If they play any of those cards, that means we have less energy and we are forced to attach from our hand onto the Roserade. If we don't play Training Court, we have to punish Roserade by 5 damage counters, and that means they just need 1 more strike to kill it off. I don't think it would be enough though, 5 damage counters, because we have 120 HP. It wouldn't make sense to target the Roserade, right? So that's why they did the boss, because if they hit the Roserade, they would still need 2 strikes anyways. They should have done a Crushing Hammer and then place damage counter on the Roserade. That means, you know, they're basically forcing us to get trapped. We can't attack with the same Roserade. If we attach the energy, we die, and then we are gonna have to attack with the Regidrago. If we attach to the Regidrago though, we don't have enough we don't have enough HP to attack, because for each damage counter on your Regidrago, you're doing a lot less damage with your Dragon Energy. Dragon Energy is not doing enough with that many damage counters on the Regidrago. So Cursor is actually the perfect matchup against our deck, and they should be winning if they get a good start, but apparently they didn't get a good start, and thank God we get to survive with the Roserade for this game, and they didn't get their Crushing Hammer, so we got pretty lucky. No Crushing Hammer, and I think we won this turn because they got poisoned. That means they have 60 HP remaining. So Assassin's Rose is gonna kill off the active and the bench. That means we just need to attack with the Roserade, and we won. So that's it. So I think that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day, and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy life.